my name is Stan, and genius is common. I want to talk about a few things of my genius. One of them is fixing computers. You know, one day I wanted to work on computers, my own computers, and so I just dove into my computer. You know, it took a lot of sacrifice, but somebody told me about stick-to-itiveness. So I was encouraged to the stick-to-itiveness. So I kept fixing computers, tearing them apart, putting them back together, and I've been doing it now for 20 some years.
Wow.
And I actually thoroughly enjoy it. It's actually a passion. You know, it seems like whatever your genius is, it is a passion because it is a part of you. And actually I was fixing computers in my church as a ministry. I was more interested in helping people out with their computers than getting money for it. Now I get paid every once in a while, but my passion and my fulfillment comes out of fixing somebody's computer and seeing the look on their face, their happiness and their joy that they can surf the web or do a resume or something like that. Another passion I have is an ability. This has to be a God-given ability. Where I was working at Lockheed Martin, and everybody pretty much there has a degree, engineers, what have you. And I tried college twice, and I couldn't make it. I couldn't learn how the system wanted me to learn. So I did it the other way, harder, blood, sweat, and tears. I used to spend time at Lockheed working overtime without getting paid for it, but to keep myself up to par with everybody else. And so I kept doing that over and over again, and I kept getting higher positions.
Wow.
It wasn't like I was looking for these positions. An example was when I finally got on test crew to actually test military satellites, which they saw my ability, praise God for that.
Exactly.
I used to keep such detailed notes that I left it out one time, and engineering came down and looked at it, and they actually had me write procedures or fine-tune procedures that was used for the satellite program.
Wow.
And as a result of that, they sent me up to Canada to work on procedures on a special project up there. And again, this isn't of myself. This genius comes from God.
Absolutely.
Because God can give you stuff that you don't already have. And at Lockheed Martin again, I was sent down to work at Cape Canaveral. We got done finished testing the satellite, and it was time to take it down. We put it in the rocket. I had to do my part by finish testing the satellite while it's in the rocket.
Wow.
Once they buttoned it up, we all went down to mission control, and I had my part, you know, where they go through all the systems, and when they came to the avionics of the satellite, I said, no, ready to go. And so they did the countdown. This was exciting, praise God. They did the countdown, and so when it launched, everything shook, and my mind went to, I'm actually a part of this.
Exactly.
You know, so that's another one of my geniuses. Another one, praise God, I give God all the glory.
Always.
Part of my background is logistics, okay? And then I put in for a job at Homeland Security when it first started, all right? And I was a logistics consultant. So I went down to Washington, D.C. for training, and so somebody asked, you already told us about the program. Are you going to tell us about what each individual person is going to do on the team? And they said no. And we looked at each other, and they said, the reason why we're not telling you is because you're supposed to be experts in your field. And I said, wow. So I was able to use another genius of mine with Homeland Security being creative. So I implemented creativity in my work, and I got the job done. I'm not going to go into detail about that, but that was one of those opportunities that people never experienced, like working at Cape Canaveral.
Absolutely.
Being on a team when Homeland Security first rolled out, and this was only a few months after 9/11. So it's an honor, you know, to serve the country, but it's number one to honor God with
your work.
Opportunities.
Let me ask you this.
About. Yes.
Let me ask you this. You're absolutely right. It's definitely a gift from God. So if I were to ask you, what would you say to the youth that's watching? Because thousands of youth are going to be watching you all around the world. What would you say to them in reference to their own individual gift? What parting words would you say to them?
Youth, I would tell you, follow your passions, follow what's in your heart, because a lot of times your hobbies are an extension of your passions, and those hobbies and passions could end up into a job that you really like. I would say follow your passions. Surround yourself with people that would speak life into you, that will encourage you and help you when you're not feeling too well. And when you surround yourself with positive people like this, they'll help you to get to the point where you want to be. And only when you get to that point, when you get older, when you get the job, you'll feel a sense of fulfillment. You'll feel a sense like you're making a difference.
Making a difference,
you know, and somebody one day will look at you and say, wow, he's doing a good job. How did he get there?
Absolutely.
You know, don't fall into the trap of negativism, drugs, alcohol. I was in that trap when I was younger. And I used to be the kind of person that used to abuse people, right? And don't fall into these traps, because what they do, they dismantle you and they destroy you.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, I agree.
Look upon God. Follow what's in your heart. Do these things. Help yourself. Fill yourself with good things from heaven so you can have enough to extend out to other people. That's what it's about.
I want you to say your name again for the audience.
Oh, my name is Stan Dingle.
And we really appreciate you, and God bless.
Oh, God bless you.
Appreciate you.